BEERUN, beer run. BEERUN, beer run. All we need is a 10 and a 5 or a car and a key and a sober driver. BEERUN, beer run.
Welcome to the Beer Run, part of the BSnBEER network, the only Saints podcast with a 2-drink minimum and takes as bad as running out of beer pregame.
That's a joke, boy. You missed it. Went right past you. You gotta keep on your toes. Put toes at it.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. So that's my situation today. How you guys doing today?
Running out of beer during pregame, man? You were having a hell of a party, Craig.
Man. You've had that Saints kickoff at noon. About 11:45, you realize that you grabbed the last beer out of the fridge. That's the equivalent to what just happened right now. I went to go get my beer before the show and bone dry. That's yeah.
And if that happens in Arkansas on a Sunday, there is no replenishing in stock because you can't buy beer on a Sunday.
That's the Lord's Day, which is confusing because I don't know about all other religions, but my Lord turned water into wine. Okay, so like he's cool with my Sunday drinking.
Exactly. Exactly, man. What's going on, man? All right, man. So
First down, Saints.
Let's go around the room here, man, and let's talk about what we drinking. So, Craig, what you drinking, bro?
Man, I got some water with a little bit of creatine in it for my workout later. I'm bone dry on the alcohol, unfortunately. Unfortunate, but I'm gonna pretend it's because I'm healthy. It's not because I forgot and ran out of beer. No. It's because I'm on a fit kick and I'm getting buff. That's what it is. Yep.
24-hour beer fasting.
That's right. Yeah, the whole 24 hours, and that includes when you're sleeping though. As long as you sleep a while, you rack those hours up.
There you go. Yeah. All right.
Burn that beer calories.
What you drinking, bro?
Unfortunately, I do have to go to work in the morning pretty early, so I decided to keep it light. And went and got one of those twisted teas that be showing in those commercials during college football season. So I decided to give me one of these.
I am a fan of the twisted tea, bro. I'm a fan. All right, Craig. So, look, I was a little bit under the. Yeah, that's what I'm getting to. I was a little bit under the weather. A little bit under the weather this week. Still dealing with the stuff in my throat. So I apologize to the listeners out there for clearing my throat 1,000 times.
You sound better than usual. It's fine.
The show must go on. So I do not have beer on the beer run, but I do have bourbon. Shout out to bsnBEER. Okay.
That'll straighten you out in a couple of days.
Yeah, and this is all good for the cough. So I got one shot, and that's what we're doing. Bottoms up.
Hey, I was having some accident be swigging from a bottle of NyQuil right there. What was it? NyQuil and Sprite. That's. I'm just saying. I'm having a good.
Oh, you trying to make a drink, huh?
You ain't been there.
Yeah. You trying to do some purple drink. I feel you. Craig. Maybe that is what I need. Let me call Jamarcus up and reminisce about the good old days.
Hour, but you'll be feeling all pretty good by then, I imagine.
Yeah, exactly. Reminisce about the good old days and have some fun.
Yeah, but before Jamarcus Russell was a punchline, we played football.
Yeah. Exactly.
Just don't be running down the street in your drawers. You should be good.
Well, we do that sober most days, so we'll see how that goes.
Oh man. So what we got, Dale? What we got?
All right.
Second down.
Man, let's get into some news because the Saints are back in New Orleans and they are doing some practicing in front of fans. What an idea. Practicing and welcoming fans in. How about that? But the big item coming out of the practices is the new locker room for the Saints, aka Club Dub.
Woo.
And the lights and everything, the new locker room looks great. You hear music in the background playing. It's gonna be lit, man. It's gonna be lit when the Saints win. So, Terrell, what you think about the new locker rooms here, man?
Man, I mean, one, it's about time. Two, it pretty much solidifies that it's a whole new era. It's a whole new regime, so to speak. So it's a whole new vibe, a whole new feel. So hopefully the players can resonate with that, and hopefully get some new swagger back that we haven't had in a while.
Yeah. Yep. Correct. What you think about these locker rooms, man?
You see, I think it's cooler than a lot of other Saints fans because I think we're going to win some games this year. So I don't know. Y'all think you're going to win 2-3 games. You're probably not thinking that's clubbed up very often. But I kind of had the opposite reaction. Is I didn't feel like it was moving forward. I thought it was like a callback to those 2017, 2018 locker room parties when we were winning all the time. It felt like they were trying to bring that swag back as opposed to finding the new one. So like I liked it for like the opposite, I guess. But yeah, and I'm all for it. Make it fun. Football's supposed to be fun. It's only as stressful for people like Dale.
Yeah. Because I remember, I'm glad you brought up 2017 because I remember those seasons when we had like Kamara and Ingram, and every time they win, you have Deion Sanders on NFL Network, 21st and Prime. I always calling the boys up because we was on that streak, and it was like you ball, you get the call. So like it was always a vibe back. It was always a party in that locker room. So we started winning. Expect that locker room to be extra lit this season. So I'm looking forward to that, especially heading towards December, January.
Yep. I don't know if the Saints were like the first team to do that, like locker room kind of celebration with the kind of bootleg boombox and the little light that they might have had in there. I don't know if they were the first ones to do it, but I know for sure we were like one of the most famous ones to do it after the games.
We might not be the first ones to do it, but we're the first ones to get punished for it. We had a draft pick taken away because we partied in the locker room during the COVID year, despite every other team doing it, because God and the NFL hate the Saints.
Yeah, one good illustrious season, we win the Super Bowl, and there's Deflate Gate and all this stuff, but putting an extra paycheck in the linebacker's pockets for sacking the quarterback, everybody goes insane.
You talk to like casual fans about Bountygate, and they think like, "Oh, they were getting checks for hurting people." It's like you don't know shit. You don't know shit about it. People were getting bonuses for certain milestones statistically. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. All right,
exactly.
That's fine.
Again, you're an NFL player. You get paid to hurt people in the first place. So it's like I'm always arguing with people like, "Where did we cheat? Where's the cheating at? We didn't find anyone." Either you get to the quarterback, you get paid.
Didn't deflate a football.
You get to the quarterback.
Didn't pay off a ref like the Rams did. Nothing.
Exactly. You get to the quarterback, you get paid. You don't get to the quarterback, you don't get paid. You still get your regular salary and your bonuses from your contract. Where's the cheat?
Hello? You play to win the game.
It's not our fault. We knock a few of them out of the league. That's not our fault. Brett Favre should learn from the first season in Minnesota, but that's a different story for a different day.
Yes, sir. Well, the other bit of news coming out of New Orleans is they signed a defensive tackle, Cameron Peterson, who played at Southern in Baton Rouge. He began his career as an undrafted rookie free agent with the Ravens last year. He didn't appear in any games, but the Saints signed him, and we'll see what kind of noise he can make on this final preseason game. So always good to see a guy from Louisiana, Craig. I love to see my Louisiana guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to see these homegrown talents getting a shot with the home team. It's always it's always a feel-good story, especially like with the honey badger coming back home, and it's good to get some homegrown talent from the city.
As long as it's not a running.
I mean,
well, we will talk more about that, Craig. We will talk more about that.
And of course, I'm talking about Kabuti not making the team this year. That I couldn't be talking about anything else.
Sure you are.
Yeah.
All right, last bit of news we've got out of practice is Uli Udo has been taking some first-team reps at right tackle. Dennis Allen also said that right tackle and left guard are positions that are open. So going into this final preseason game, we have not locked down these positions. Craig, is this a concern or
yes?
you okay with this?
Yes, it's a concern. What kind of question is that? Yes. So it's easier to hide bad guard play. It was different with Breeze era because Breeze was so important with the stepping up in the pocket, and that interior three was kind of more important almost the tackle play for him. Everybody else, Derek Carr included, you need to have the tackles first and foremost. You can kind of scheme protection to the guards a little bit better. So left guard, I'm not panicked about. I feel like Patrick can probably do it. I like the idea of Saldivari when he gets back healthy. And if it isn't great, you can work with that. The right tackle thing is just such a question mark. And you know, a lot of people came out of that second preseason game thinking that Penning played a lot better. And truth be told, they slid protection his way, and they had him help. They had tight ends chip, and they had running back shade to that side. He was helped just so the offense could function. And you know, he made some good plays in the running game, but it still wasn't good enough. And now you've got Udo splitting snaps with him. And I think, you know, his floor is a little bit higher, you would think. He did miss all of last season with an injury, so it's not like he's a guarantee either. But his ceiling is a lot lower, where you have Penning, who is an athletic freak. If he could put it together mentally, he'd be a monster. But he's clearly not doing that. His floor is a lot lower. So if you roll Udo out there, he might be okay. He won't be good, but he might be okay. And you roll Penning out there, he might be great, and he's probably going to be terrible. And that's just where we're at right now. And you can try to scheme protecting that one side, but then you're not scheming to protect left guard. You know, you can patch a hole. You can't really patch two of them on opposite sides of the line like that. It's just going to be. I don't envy Cesar Ruiz. I don't envy Eric McCoy. Those guys calling out the protect. Their jobs get so much harder when they have to figure out how to make it for everybody else's jobs. Oh man, And we're taking left tackle as a given, and that's a rookie who didn't play the last week because he's got back problems. Yes, I'm concerned about the offensive line. This defense better be great. Chase Young better be everything is advertised, and they better not pick on Jordan Howden too much at free safety because this defense needs to be elite if we're going to win games. We need to win games 9-6.
Do you think that Dennis Allen believes his defense can be elite enough, just like you're describing? Because I think Dennis Allen has this kind of feeling that the defense is going to be like shut down.
So a lot of people just saw his interviews with Kay Adams and everything like that, and we all love Kay Adams on the show.
Right. Oh yes. Always.
But I'm gonna get my first of the year out of the way. Shut up, Dennis Allen. Coming in there like he's got all this swagger about his defense, but we haven't accomplished anything yet. We didn't have any pass rush last year until we started blitzing like crazy. He has no reason to be as confident as he is. Defense will be good. He's a great defensive coach. If he was a defensive coordinator, I'd feel really good about him, but he's not. He's a head coach, and that's inherently the problem. So I think the defense can be that good, but it depends on a couple things. It depends on if Lattimore plays because, they talk about, he's bought in, and then he practiced. So he bought in. Adebo, is he going to play? He's banged up. He ain't practiced all preseason now. So you got Alontae Taylor, who is a better outside guy, but he's committed to being a slot guy now. So he's going to play in the slot. So you got Kool-Aid McKinstry, who has not played very well in the preseason and also is a freaking rookie. So the secondary depth on paper is so good and in reality is so bad that you got guys like what was Rico, somebody making plays in the preseason last week? He's not even making the team, and he's playing most of the snaps now. It's not a good.
Got your cousins out there.
They roll out there healthy week one, and Chase Young gets a good pass rush and the corners are active and playing, yes, defense will be good enough. You'll be able to win games just on your defense. But it's a big but. It's a big if. It's a big hopefully, because we haven't seen it.
What you think, Terrell?
No, I agree with what he's saying, because Dennis Allen has actually been irking me with the past couple of interviews, even from last season, and it's like, it's like listening to Joe Biden give a speech. Say, do you know what you're talking about? Sometimes, like, like what do you mean, like this and this? So I'm very optimistic about our defense. I think we're gonna get tested early. So if we can stay healthy on the defensive end, we got to be more locked in than we ever been. I'm not saying we're probably going to want us to get back to where we were in 2017. Because Cam Jordan only had, 2 sacks last season? So those numbers need to get up, because I'm not used to Cam getting less than 5 sacks a season. I mean, let's not forget what he did to Matt Ryan a few years ago. So we need to step that defense up, and we need to show some urgency, because we're hurting on that defensive front as well, especially if we keep getting these injuries. So hopefully these rookies will pan out, because we need all the help we can get. We can sign these off-season guys from other teams, free agents, what have you, but he got to make sure come week 1, those guys are ready to ball, because as much as our offense needs work, we need that defense. That's if anything outside of Breeze, that defense has always been our calling card.
Yeah, I'm gonna say a fast start is what we need the most. Dennis Allen seems to get better over the course of the season, and I say, man, even with his play calling for defense, like they step up more toward the second half than they do earlier in the first half. So I just would like to see more consistency early on, and I think that's going to help the team be successful and maybe sneak into the playoffs here. Because that's what I'm looking forward to, is getting back to the playoffs.
If you look at Allen, and you got to throw out the Green Bay game for this, but if you look at Dennis Allen, the whole story of his defenses have always been second half adjustments in game and over seasons. Last year, the problem was we didn't have a pass rush. So about week, was it 10? We were playing the Giants, and he decided, we're going to blitz the hell out of these guys. We had 7 in that game. And from the rest of that season, they've started manufacturing pressure because the front four wasn't doing it. Now we're in a position where Cam Jordan's not even a starter. So you got Carl Granderson on one side, 8.5 sacks last year. You got Chase Young now on the other side. You have Cam Jordan taking reps at inside, defensive tackle. So God forbid we actually force a couple of third and longs. That's going to be a scary front. You're going to have guards who are used to playing defensive tackles on passing downs with Cam Jordan coming out, a healthy Cam Jordan, I might add. So the defense can absolutely be great. I don't know that it is, but it can be.
Yeah, I'm looking for us to shock a lot of teams this season. The quick start, the better. We got to pedal to the metal. We can't have these 1-3 starts, 0-3 starts, and then let's pick it up towards the end. We got to hit the ground running ASAP, because we don't know. These tiebreakers might come and bite us in the ass in the end of the season, like it did last year. So we just got to,
the tough part
running from week 1.
Tough part is looking at this schedule. I guarantee you it's going to be the same way. This year, the first 5 weeks we play the Eagles, Cowboys, and Chiefs. Towards the end of the season, it's all winnable stuff. So the last 2 years, what's it been? Really bad starts and then win 4 of your last 5. I think both last 2 years we've done that. I promise you it's going to be a similar situation. We're going to be rough in the first half, and we're going to close the season out strong. It's the only question is if we close it out strong enough to get to the finish line.
But we can start out 2 out of the 3. We should be good. I'd be very hopeful. We come out the gate 2-1 on those Super Bowl caliber teams. That means we're off to a good start.
If we're 2-3 on our first 5, I still feel good about it. If we're 1-4 or 0-5 in the first 5, it's over. Too late.
Third down for what?
We're talking about the game versus the 49ers. For me, this was the game that kind of solidified, okay, the offense should be okay. I think Clint Kubiak could figure this thing out with the offensive line and make us look okay. Craig, did you feel the same way after watching the game versus the 49ers?
No.
Okay.
Not even kind of. So, all right. 16 play drive, 95 yards, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's talking about this long drive. 95 yards is great. It's wonderful. We had to go convert 2 different fourth downs on that drive, and the Niners didn't have any of their starters on defense. So 95 yards on backups that you had to do multiple fourth down conversions on that you probably wouldn't do in a real game in the first quarter. No, I don't feel any better about it. The line didn't look good. They had to help guys against backups. They weren't playing Joey Bosa out there, and they weren't, getting pushed on the other side of the line by, the Niner offense doesn't have the Ayuks and the McCaffreys and the Deebo Samuels and the George Kittles, and none of these guys played. And we still only came out with 1 touchdown against their starters, which, like I said, was really just their backups that they happened to play first. So people are like, oh, this was more encouraging than the first one. No, it's not. If you actually pay attention or know what the hell you're talking about, it was as bad or worse than the first game. That's how I feel about it.
Okay, Terrell, how'd you feel?
Well, since he put it that way. We didn't play against their full starters out there, but the one thing I can't take with, I'm happy that our starters had more reps on that drive instead of just 2 reps and then we were done and here comes Spencer Rattler out there. So I love how instead of folding on third down and punting, Derek Carr's, we got this, let's keep going. So he was hell bent on at least scoring that touchdown before he got off the field. So I'm happy with the persistence of it, but as he said, it wasn't Bosa, it wasn't the big timers. So, but I like how that offense flows, even though it was against their quote unquote starters. I still like how that offense flowed. I like the play calling that was going on. So if we can execute that better on actual live starters, I'll be happy with that. But
I will. The way they're using
started from one end of the field to the next, I'm not sure.
I do like the idea of the offense, the play call and the scheme of it. I do like what they're doing. I don't know that we have the personnel to do it.
Okay, I like the way the spacing.
We might not even have the quarterback to do it.
I like the way the spacing looked. The running game looked like it had a lot of room. It was schemed well from just looking at the game. I'm still encouraged from it. I don't care who we played against. It's it looked encouraging to me, and especially compared to the first game where it was like, oh, we're just running basic stuff, really basic stuff, and we didn't move the ball at all. Well, at least we moved the ball this time, so I'm liking that. So that's why I am encouraged by it. I don't care what you're saying, Craig. You can't pour water on my parade, okay?
You guys sound like the people who go to strip clubs and think the stripper really likes them.
They do.
Yep.
If you pay them off.
No.
No, I think we're friends. Yeah, we're probably going to get drinks next time. Yeah, sure you are, buddy.
Yeah, you got to buy her that drink.
There was a wise poet that once made a song about falling in love with a stripper. So, okay, it happens, Craig. Okay.
Not me, but.
All right, let's talk about the kicking battle. Because during the game, we only got 1 kick from Groupie, and that was really it. But throughout practice, we've been kind of getting different charts about the kickers, and everything that I'm looking at saying the kicking battle is pretty close. And when it's close like that, you kind of default to the veteran, right? But
well, we didn't do that last year.
Okay, so yeah. All right, so talk to me. What do you think is going to end up happening with this kicking battle then?
So I'll go first.
It's definitely groupies to lose.
I got some opinions on this. I'm gonna tell you. My opinions are that I don't care because we're not going to be good enough to be in field goal range very often. Having said that, it's Groupie's job. Look, I mean, the Irish kid's a good story. He hit a 65-yarder in practice, but then just today when they practiced in the dome, Groupie went 7 for 7 and everything looked perfect. And that's how you win a job. You just kick more accurately. Maybe you can sneak a guy like Smith onto the practice squad or something. Let him develop a little bit. He's kicked the football for almost exactly 1 year. Like he learned how to do it last summer. So yeah, you can't trust a guy like that. And with a team whose offense will be bad, or might be bad, those 3-point swings are huge. If you're going to try to win a game 9-6 or 13-10. Those 3 are huge. They loom large. If you're the Chiefs and you miss a short field goal, Mahomes will get the ball again, and you don't have to worry about that. We don't have Mahomes. We have Derek Carr. I like Derek Carr, but Derek Carr is not Patrick Mahomes. You need to be as automatic as you can be. It's going to be groupie. You're going to maybe work on Smith for another year, but no, I don't think this is a real competition anymore.
All right, Terrell, what you think about kicking?
It's groupies to lose, because he was okay last year, and then a few times he laid an egg on some of them kicks, but it's pretty much his to lose. Just keep kicking good. Hopefully we don't need him for any kicks unless it's an extra point. Other than that, just the moment he starts slipping, you gotta look over his shoulder, because that's the one thing I hate is keeping a kicker too long that hasn't been kicking too good just because he's a veteran. It's like if it's been like 2 or 3 games and you have been kicking really good, you might want to take a seat, have a cup of Gatorade, let somebody else do it.
Yeah. Well, look, it's not an original thought, but I heard Mike Triplett say maybe what the Saints end up doing is using Smith on the practice squad and then picking up one of these veteran kickers that gets cut and let him be your guy through the year, and you work on developing Smith, because he hadn't kicked before in his life, really. So he's developing, and I think his ceiling is higher, and you want to develop that guy with the higher ceiling. And so Groupie was your development guy last year.
So you'd rather kick the tires on a veteran that you just signed off the street and cut loose Groupie, who you've only had for a year that you've been developing, so that you can develop somebody else.
Yes.
I hate it.
Develop the guy with the highest ceiling. Yeah. Yes. And then you just depend on the vet
for next
through the season.
Basically saying that you're not worried about this year. So I get what you're
saying.
That's
not what I'm saying.
Well, look, it's Triplett, so the fact that you're taking your information from a different podcast, competing with ours, you son of a bitch.
He did his show first. What you want me to do? Not listen?
Dude, I'm an offensive lineman. Kickers are football players the same way that singers are musicians, man. Like it's tenuous at best. But yeah, you know what? Fine, do that. I'll take a vet. It's the kicking game. If we're relying on these 3-point kicks, then we're not good. So let's just go get Patrick Mahomes and not have to worry about
it. Yeah. It's that easy.
Yeah.
They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Let's get some thoughts about the upcoming game versus the Titans. But let's start off with our favorite subject to talk about when it comes to the Titans. And that is talking about running back Tyjae Spears, Craig. We know you love this topic so much, Craig, and that's why we want to talk about it.
He's a running back for the Titans. I don't care. Why would I care?
Yes, you love this. So this is what Tajay Spears said about the Saints not drafting him.
I was so hurt that they drafted. Really? They had I don't know if they had 70 or something. I forgot what they had. I was so hurt, but I'm blessed. I'm in this position. I'm right where I need to be. My family, you know what I'm saying? My family.
All right. So basically, he was hurt that the Saints didn't draft him. I know some other Saints fans who feel the exact same way. And then now kind of coupled with the fact that, we drafted Miller and Miller's always hurt, this subject keeps getting brought up again and again. So it's just interesting to see. Tajay Spears was hurt by this, Craig.
I don't care.
What's your thoughts?
I'm not a Titans fan. I don't give a shit about Tajay Spears. I'm a Saints fan. I want to talk about Saints players. I don't care where a guy went to college. I care about who's on the Saints and who can contribute to this team. It would, if it was a hometown kid made the Saints, that would be cool. I'd be all for that. He didn't. He's on the Titans. I don't care. Fuck the Titans. Who dat?
Fuck the Titans. All right. The other thing about this is Kubiak will be calling plays from the sideline this week, where he calling plays from the press box usually. I'm wondering if he's going to switch this up during the season. If it is indeed, if he's more comfortable calling from the press box. I like them calling from the press box. Now I know the difference from a quarterback standpoint. He's not able to talk to your offense coordinator when you come off the sideline. You got to get on the phone, all that kind of stuff. Terrell, what do you think about this dynamic here, calling the plays from the sideline versus the boot?
It shows that he is all in on being hands-on. So the fact that he's out there on the field, he can relay the messages faster. If he sees something up close that he doesn't like, he can adjust there. So I like the fact that him and Carr can have that one-on-one conversation about plays, as opposed to having to get on the phone, sit there after the plays, after they give up a play or they're on the bench. He can just talk to them face to face right then and there in the huddle before going to a huddle. So to me, it shows that he's taking a hands-on approach on this play calling duty, as opposed to sitting upstairs.
Okay, correct.
Yeah, it's kind of a new school versus old school mentality. You're on the sideline. You can feel the energy. You're with you feel the vibes. You got the body language. You have more candid communication and everything like that. But when you're up top, you have the analytics. You can see everything a lot more clearly. You have more information to work with. You've got a bunch of computer screens next to you, and not just your clipboard on the sideline. So it's really like, do you lean towards old school football? I want to be in it, with the guys, or do I want to be new school, up and away with my analytics and my stats and a bird's eye view? So he said he's going to go back and forth and see what he feels more comfortable doing, see what he's more effective at. I don't have a preference either way. I see value in both. I definitely understand wanting to be down and in it, and I definitely understand wanting to have that bird's eye view. So, for me, whatever works for him, man. It's not going to break my heart either way. It'll be harder for Derek Carr to yell at him on the sideline if he's up in the booth. But that might have been more of a Pete Carmichael issue than a Derek Carr issue.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I don't mind going back and forth, because maybe he might go back and forth between halves. Like the first half, he's upstairs. Second half, he's like, okay, let me get downstairs. If they're doing good and we're in a big lead, there's no reason for him to step downstairs. But if we're behind and we're closely behind, okay, I need to step downstairs, see my guys, and, talk to them from there. So it's probably going to be a case-by-case basis how the game's going, how big of a lead we're in, how big of a hole we're in. So I think the flow of the game will determine if he's going to stay up top or he's going to take a trip downstairs and see what's going on.
One thing to consider that I hadn't thought of is it's going to be what his role is as a leader. Like, is Dennis Allen the leader and they want to rally behind him? and you can just have your OC up in the booth, or is, Kubiak the leader of that offense? Because if Kubiak needs to be that guy that people need to rally behind and is in the huddles on the sidelines and whatever, then maybe he does need to be on that sideline. But it's really a question of where the leadership on the team is coming from. And I'm not trying to make opinion either direction on if Dennis Allen should be that kind of a role or if he should be more hands off or whatever it is. But I think that's the biggest difference, is whether or not you need someone rallying the troops or you need someone just calling the shots.
I'll tell you this: if our offense is often cooking and we're winning games, nine times out of 10, they're probably gonna rally around the offensive coordinator. I think they're gonna rally around Kubiak.
Big if.
What are you guys expecting to see from this game?
We'll see the first two games.
Are we going to see starters play a good bit, or this is more of a backup type of game here? What you think, Craig?
I think we're going to see the starters, but not as much as we did in the Niners game. Probably the game before that, where they played like a few snaps and then we were off the field. So I think we're going to see a little bit, and the rest is all Spencer Rattler and Hayden.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if we see starters in any real capacity. I think you might get your tackles some work. I think Udo and Penning are going to play most of the game. Hopefully Fuaga can get out there for a bit. But I'd be shocked if Olave, Kamara, Carr, if they hit the field at all. I would be shocked. I don't think you see Taysom, any of those guys.
Okay. All right. Backup quarterback. Who you think gets the nod? Because I'm thinking it's going to be Jake Haener to start off at the second string quarterback this season. What do you think, Terrell?
I'm not sure. I think this Titans game might determine who is going to be that backup QB.
Okay.
My gut is telling me that's probably going to be Hayden, but if somehow Rattler balls out more than Hayden does, he might win that backup spot. But I think it's probably going to go to Hayden, because after what I've seen against the Niner game, I don't think he's ready to be a backup QB yet.
Okay. Correct.
Yeah.
What you think?
I think it's Haener. He's got the extra year in the league, and honestly, it's not even as much about Haener as it is about Rattler. If you think that there is that high ceiling on Rattler, don't push responsibility on him yet. Let him develop. Give him time. Get him third string guys. You can carry 3 now with the change in the rules. It's not, you don't have to sneak him onto the practice squad. You can just make the team. You don't have to push him into the reps. You don't have to push him into live fire. Give him time. If you think he might be the guy in a year, then don't force him to learn how to be a backup right now. Let him develop into being the best Rattler that he can be. So I think it's going to be Haener, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Haener, he's shown a lot. He's having as good a camp as Rattler by a lot of accounts. So I'm okay with Jake Haener. I like that he's a Fresno State guy with Derek Carr. They had that connection. Haener said he grew up idolizing Drew Brees. You can't win yourself over with me a whole lot better than that.
Yeah.
How much of a benefit is it for the third string quarterback to be running that scout team during the season to help them develop into a good NFL quarterback? What you think, Ray?
Well, I mean, to be honest, it's not as good as being second, because you're not going to get as many reps in practice. But I think from that point it's not necessarily about the work you get this season as it is about being kind of part of the plans for the future. You're going to practice different things when you're preparing to be the backup. Haener's, second team reps, they aren't going to be, okay, how do we go out there and win the game? It's going to be, okay, how do we keep our head down because our quarterback just got hurt, and that's our game plan this week. So you're kind of setting yourself up for a different job. Starting quarterback and a backup quarterback are the same position, but it's kind of a different job. So I don't think it's necessarily a benefit to Rattler to be the third string guy, but I think for the long-term success of not pigeonholing him as a backup, it might be beneficial.
Okay. Sure, you agree?
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. I also believe that he can benefit from being on the third string, get his reps in, and have the opportunity to battle for that second string quarterback for next season, or bearing what happens with Carr this year. You know, he might have a bigger quarterback battle, you know, next offseason, next preseason. So I'm not mad at him sitting as a third string because right now he's one of those quarterbacks we don't have to push him out to the forefront so soon. Unlike Atlanta or unlike Carolina or any of these other teams that need a quarterback bad, we're good. He doesn't need to be pushed out there so soon. At least give him a year, and if he's ready to be a backup, he can practice for a backup. Or if he outshines next season, next offseason, next preseason, and he actually winds up winning the quarterback QB1, cool. But if Carr does well, we might have Carr longer than I'm giving it. So he has a chance to at least becoming the backup next year. So I would say just sit him out, make him a third stringer, learn all the reps, eyes and ears, learn from the best. Just be like he said, he ain't gotta be on the practice squad. He's automatically on the team now. So it's not like, am I gonna have a job this year? Am I gonna get waived? If he's gonna be the future, we gotta make sure he's ready to be that franchise player, because he has the potential of being that next franchise player, the face of the league, the face of the franchise within the next 2 years.
Okay.
And here's my soapbox for the minute. All these Saints fans that are like, "Oh, well, Rattler's got the most potential. He should start right now and let him develop it." You want to throw no experience behind that offensive line? You want to get him killed as a rookie and let him never develop? Like, people just get blinded by this talent thing. It's like, "Oh, he's so talented. Look at the arm talent." Yeah. Like, Jamarcus Russell had an arm talent. All right, get the fuck out of here with this. Just throw him out there behind the Swiss cheese offensive line that's probably going to get Derek Carr killed too. I don't understand. I know it's an impatience thing, but best case scenario, you throw him out there, he does well, and then you keep Dennis Allen for the next 10 years, and you won't be happy about that either. Fuck Saints fans. I'm happy.
Exactly. So just be patient, be happy with the quarterback we got, because the quarterback we got, he's not bad. He's at least mid. So if we can win games with a mid quarterback, we're good. We got Kamara, we got everybody else, we got our defense, and just take what we got, let this kid develop into the quarterback we need. We need him better than Aaron Brooks.
Okay, but I do love Brooks, though, to be fair.
Yeah, of course. I'm just saying, he was cool, but he wasn't Mike Vick.
Fuck.
All right, this is a good place to end the show. Craig, your friend, the Tennessee Titan fan we had on last year, Tony, is her name? Shout out to Tony, man. Shout out to Tony.
On the show, but I realized I'm mad about the Titans and I don't want to talk to nobody.
Yep. All right, so that's gonna wrap it up for us here on the Beer Run.
Thank you for joining us this week. Thank you for bearing with our technical issues. For the BSnBEER family, for Lil Dice, for Trell, for the whole Dave and all them folks that never come on the show no more. I am the California Cajun. Have a beer. It's on me.
Who that?
Remember to follow us on social media at BSnBEER Media. Also, smash the like button on YouTube and share with friends.